Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the third quarterfinal match of the LA Sevens. This one, Great Britain taking on New Zealand. It says slightly delayed. It was about 5 minutes late that this match was taking place, but it's going to be an exciting one, that is for sure. Both very strong sides. New Zealand currently doing very well throughout their recent matchups, other than when they did end up losing to Samoa. But they've now got a chance of righting that wrong, making it through to the semi-finals. But to do that, they've got to get through this Great British side who are looking very good, other than just having that one loss on the record. But they were able to beat Argentina, which does help them out pretty massively. Looking through at Great Britain, it is Alex Davis, Waddleton, Barden, McFarland, Ferguson, Emery, and Barreto. Then for New Zealand, Dixon, Collier, Brady Rush, Joe Weber, Rockali Soa, Leroy Carter, and Moses Leo. GB kicking off, and we are now underway for the quarterfinals. Rockali Soa takes it nicely for New Zealand. Moses Leo getting the chance to start this matchup rather than coming off the bench. Leroy Carter passes off to Brady Rush, straight through the middle, missed tackle, and now Leroy Carter, foot race that he might just about be able to win. He scores the try, and New Zealand, within the first 25 seconds, score the first try of the match. And in this quarterfinal, come on, let's go New Zealand, rock these pommies, says a ref, and go New Zealand, says Viniana. So the winner of this game will go on to face up against Ireland or Australia, the winner of that match, and try and get kaha New Zealand, says Peter Stowers as well. Leroy Carter, good pace, but good work from, it was Brady Rush who actually went for that offload rather than trying to run it himself. He did have a player who was hanging on to him. So he had to make sure that he did pass it off as well. One moment, we will go like this, and we will go like this. Maybe. There we go. Yeah, we're all sorted. Now New Zealand in position again. Advantage over at the moment, up to the halfway line. Talking to Clark Laidlaw, coach of New Zealand. He'll be very happy with the way that they've started this game, but the game is a long way from over. Moses Leo now pins the ears back. He's going to have enough speed because Ferguson's not going to catch him. And that's the second try of the match now for New Zealand. They are on fire early on in this quarterfinal matchup. We'll go like this. And oops, press the wrong button. Scoreboard seems to be updating not too badly at the moment. Leroy Carter, lightning speed faster than loser. Oh, sorry, faster than laser, I should say. And the number 12 is a rugby. So the number 12 for us is Leroy Carter. That kick has only gone about halfway as far as he wanted it to. It's gone now after 2.5 minutes. New Zealand sitting 12-0 up over Great Britain. Now, we did see Fiji get themselves a nice early lead over South Africa. That momentum did continue, and the Fijians were actually able to go all the way in that game, beating South Africa 28 points to 7. No more holdback. New Zealand, number 13 this time, says it was a Rugby 02. The high says Yako, welcome in. Now it's going to be kicked in behind. Nicely taken by Great Britain with Barreto. Deep inside of their own territory at the moment. I'm looking out for Ross McCann when he comes off the bench later on, as he was able to get that match-winning try up against the Argentines for Great Britain. And if they can get back into this contest, there's a chance of an Argentina versus GB final rematch. Who knows? That's going to be possible. But first, they need to score a couple tries. Nice run again from Waddleton. It's just outside of the 22. Barden. Nice step again. Good work from Max McFarland. He'll go through, and that is the first of a few tries that GB will be needing. And also 13 and 12. Ryan Abana, number 11, Springboks Rugby Championship 2023. Says Yako. He's probably actually at the LA Sevens if he did travel over. He is a ambassador of the game. Max McFarland breaking through, missed tackle from Leroy Carter. And the problem with Sevens is if you miss a tackle, everyone knows because the player normally goes through and scores the try. Second try of the weekend for Max McFarland. Very nicely done. Now this kick should be easy enough for GB. It goes straight down the middle, and that will now make the score after 4 minutes in this contest, 7 points to 12. So the game's still well and truly on. Nice comeback starting to form here for Great Britain. Come on, Kenya. Quicker start to a match by English. They didn't see that coming. That one hasn't quite gone the 10 meters for GB, and now New Zealand from halfway will have the option of taking the quick tap. Or they've called the scrum, in fact. So to bring a couple more GB players. Yeah, Ferguson just waited a little bit. Or he was a bit too early with grabbing that ball. Semi-final between the winner of this game and Ireland versus Australia will be taking place at 11:36 a.m. New Zealand time. So in about 3 and a bit hours will be when that one does take place. Nicely fed in. Now Leroy Carter goes back across to Joe Webber, who's skipping forward. That might have been a deliberate knockdown, and it's a penalty and a yellow card against Great Britain. The last thing they needed when they were just about getting back into the contest. But this time, it is going to be, I want to say that is Emery. Yes, it is Tom Emery taken off the field. My score, Springboks 37, All Blacks 27 on the Rugby Championship 2023. Here's Yako. Now Rokalisoa. Nice ball on the inside to Sam Dixon. Now Moses Leo getting shut down pretty quickly. In fact, it was Leroy Carter jumping on that one for Great Britain. Have now got that one back. Only playing with 6 individuals on the field. Barreto, well taken down by Sam Dixon. Now this time New Zealand. Sam Rokalisoa and Regan. Sorry, Joe Webber. He's up penalised. Now Barreto. Passes back across to Alex Davis. Actually, the first time we've seen him with the ball in his hand. And also we have got their missing tackles like bowling bad balls to Ben Stokes. There's Roof. Exactly right. Can be very costly. Oh, that was a big shot. It looked like a shoulder charge, though, from Moses Leo. Just a big hit. Didn't wrap the arms. Lucky he didn't hit him high, or else it would have ended up being something a little bit more. But yeah, just smacking straight into the arm of the great British player there, Moses Leo. No tackle attempt whatsoever. Emery still off the field for another 50 seconds for Great Britain. Ferguson takes the quick tap. Now goes off to the right-hand side. Alex Davis, another chance with the ball. He did have Barden on his outside, decides instead to go to the left. Again, Barden goes to Barreto. Waddleton. Great Britain just trying to get themselves a little bit of possession here rather than so much of a focus on meters, more just try and work on that clock a little bit more. Now the line break's starting to come. Barden going straight at Moses Leo. Barreto now going off to Ferguson. He might have been struck a little bit high. He was, and the penalty goes against Brady Rush. And New Zealand all the way. And gee, that field looks a mess. It is. After yesterday's rain that they had, it was looking pretty rough then, and it's looking even worse now because they're starting to rip chunks out of it. Rokalisoa ended up connecting round the neck. It was him rather than Regan Ware. Now, we are just after the halftime siren, but they can still continue for a bit longer here. New Zealand with the extra player have not had the ball really at all. They've had one error during that time. Great Britain using that yellow card very well. Now they are back to 7. Now back to the left. Nice step, dropping the head there. There's going to be Waddleton. Great Britain can score before the end of this first half. They will certainly be right in this contest. Now, nice step from Alex Davis. Good low tackle made. Collier trying to get the turnover in the breakdown. Doesn't quite work out for him now. Ferguson finds the offload again. Going off to the left-hand side. It's opening up now for Great Britain. Inside ball, not quite able to find it. Has to take the contact. Now nice pass across to the left. Great Britain now. 10 meters out. Davis goes to ground. Barreto again plays half. Barden. Nice pass out. Big tackle made again. This time it is Moses Leo. Rushes up. Gets Waddleton. Now they go again to the left-hand side. Barden. We are currently 1 minute past the halftime siren. These sides still continue to go. Now, the thing is, 1 minute may not sound like a lot, but that is a long time in sevens, just short of the line. Onto it now. They don't get the ball, and he's tried to put it down. He's just short, round the short side. Barreto scores the try. And now Team GB will go into halftime equalised. Maybe in the lead. Geez, Kiwis watch anything, says Canvas Bed. And yeah, and also it sucks. And when Proteus, sorry, play like Woozies, they have to eat humble pie. Also, we have got there. Is it muddy sliding and mud wrestling? Yes, please, says the roof. It's not too bad in terms of the mud. It's just it keeps on getting roughed up. Got the distance on that kick, goes away to the left hand side, and at halftime, 12 points to 12. I don't think many people would have predicted that after the start that New Zealand had, but Great Britain, they may have been caught napping in the first 2 minutes, but the next 5 minutes, they were doing very well, and they are nowhere near out of this contest as of yet. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is hugely appreciated. You guys all being here for these live streams. What we will quickly do is we will go like this and like this as well. Here we go. And we put that there. And we go like this. And then we go like this, I think. There we go. Just going to move around my tabs quickly so that it behaves. There we go. Perfect. Right, we've rearranged it. Currently halftime in this matchup. And it's a close game, 12 points to 12 at the moment. And I have a feeling that Great Britain, with the momentum they were able to cause in that first half, maybe could be the first try scorers of the second half. And then from there, it would mean that New Zealand would have to come back from behind. But it just shows how quickly a game can change in sevens. And all it takes is one good play to then change momentum completely. It will be New Zealand kicking off this one in 8 minutes' time. It will be Ireland versus Australia. I feel like they haven't quite scheduled these games for the right time in a way because it seems like they're all too squished. They haven't really allowed for the extra time that may end up taking place. The time just flies by. It's quicker than Stuart Broad's fast balls. Says Roof. Yeah, that's one thing that I always learn about the sevens is like you can watch 4 games of sevens in the time that it takes to play about maybe a game and a half of rugby, or sorry, 3/4 of a game of rugby union, and it just flies by. Yes, boss, was a solid weekend of hours of rugby. Enjoy the rest of the week, the Kiwi lads. Says Nate, you too, mate. I have hugely appreciated how much you've been here over the weekend. You've been up at random hours, and yeah, hugely appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you next week when we do the same thing again, except we won't have as many middle of the night streams, I don't believe. And Pommy's taking advantage of New Zealand sleeping. Says Roof. Now, pass back across to the right. Great Britain back in position again. Ferguson passes out wide. Now, New Zealand have to find themselves defending. And it's me, Tamanui. Welcome in, mate. Penalty goes the way of New Zealand for not supporting the body weight in the breakdown. That is a bad penalty to give away. I believe it was Barreto being penalised for that one. And also take care, Nate. Says Sebastian in there as well. 6 minutes left in this half. Then we've got Australia versus Ireland. The winner of this game goes on to face the winner of that contest. Anytime, Bus. We'll see you this weekend, says Nate. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. The NRL starting up. We've got cricket at a regular time for us, kind of. I'm talking about South Africa, West Indies. It starts at 9 p.m. New Zealand time. We'll probably end up doing a session or two of that per day. It's because I think that will be a good matchup. South Africa, West Indies. Two sides that Australia were able to both beat. Now, oh, that's class from New Zealand. They go to the front of the line out, just a little pop, goes back to Kuria Rokali Soa, and the Kiwis run it in, and that will be the first try of the second half. It's me, Tamanui. I know. I read the one earlier on. And also, why don't you write lyrics for songs or poetry? Says Roof for Sebastian. I feel like Sebastian would be able to spit some bars if he had to. Broccoli Soa, celebrating that one. Now 4 minutes 50 remaining. That kick has not quite made it to where they wanted it to. Just showing the series points. Akulio Rockali so sitting on 233 at this point. And salute boss. Here's Nate. And he's just massively above anyone else. Like Nathunu's on 167. That is the next closest. So almost about, I forgot, about 60 points difference, I think it was, or something along those lines, though. Kicked off by Akulio Rockali so with that unsuccessful conversion. It does mean that it will be 17 points to 12. How many trophies have you got? What type of trophies, Tamanui? Penalty goes the way of Great Britain. That is for Leroy Carter not being able to roll away. Let's draw a broad one as old as his career. Can't take the credit for that, says Sebastian. Now, nice step again. Taken down low, and that is actually one of the replacements. I believe that is Greenwood. Was tackled well. Now Ferguson goes back across. Bit of a handling error from Freddie Roddick. Ross McCann. If he can't do it, no one can. He's just been taken down. Now, Ferguson. Cross again for Great Britain. Finding themselves trying to attack from their own 22. Another great low tackle made. That was on Morgan Williams. Yet to make those meters over the first about maybe 10 phases of their play. The penalty goes the way of Great Britain. This might not be a bad option to actually kick it downfield, but they decide to take the quick tap. And also, how many trophies do you have on cricket? I do not have any trophies on cricket. The stage, that's a big shot. I think New Zealand might have just had a bit of friendly fire. Roderick Solo might have gotten his jaw rearranged by his teammate's shoulder. Now Ross McCann again with the step. Roderick Solo goes in low. And just to make the tackle, though. This game, I feel like there's tension building and there's something that's about to happen. Could it be Morgan Williams who causes that? If he gets the offload away, no, he decides to hang on to it instead. Counter ruck from Amanaki Nicole doesn't work out. Now Leroy Carter also getting involved. Do they get the turnover? No, they do not. So Great Britain still hang on to this ball for that little bit longer. It's Kamati time, New Zealand. Come on, New Zealand. 3 minutes is a long time in sevens. It certainly is. Could feel like an eternity for both of these sides. Definitely if they're fatigued, they just want the game to be over. They will be struggling. Oh no, that's rough. That's a rough penalty. Freddie Roddick. I'll go back to that one in a second because it's too fast-paced to talk about. The ball's gone through the hands of the GB player. It was a knock-on. Now, that was actually a bit of foul play from Great Britain. I'm sure it's happened before. Maybe New Zealand have tried it in the past, but I noticed that one very clearly. Roderick Solo, or Akulio Rockali Soa, in fact, penalised for not rolling away. Yet from this near angle, you could see that the Great Britain player had his leg and was hanging onto it for dear life, and he was trying to shake him off so that he could get out of that breakdown. But the Great British player was just hanging on big time. I'm surprised that the touch judge on the near side didn't notice that when the referee was going to blow the penalty. England just lost it, says Hanoi. Only 100 seconds left in the matchup now. Clark Laidlaw in charge of this one for the Kiwis. Now, Kulia Rockali Soa goes off to Narohi McCarvey Black. Just come off the bench, so fresh as a daisy, ready to go. Well done from, I believe that was New Zealand's number 11, Joe Webber, who actually managed to keep that ball on the side of the Kiwis in the breakdown. Now, Amanaki Nicole has the option on the outside to go to Roderick Solo, who looks like his jaw has recovered after getting rocked just a little bit ago. Kulia Rockali Soa goes across to Collier again. Dixon, one more to McGarvey Black. Passes out wider. Joe Webber, 2 meters out from the line. Great work from the Great British defence. But 1 minute on the clock. If New Zealand score now, there will be no coming back for Great Britain. And they have got numbers, although the pass was slightly wayward. They went to Amanaki Nicole. It was behind him, but Roderick Solo receives the pass from Nicole, scores the try, and New Zealand have got themselves a spot in the semi-finals. I can't get on board with this GB thing. It's weird, isn't it? I don't understand why it's GB rather than all the other teams. The only thing I can think of is because they want to open up the door for more other teams to join. But I don't think that's the case. I think there's some sort of something behind it. But yeah, I always find it confusing. I always would have thought that having more like teams from different regions of Europe would actually be more beneficial type thing. Kiwi, how old are you? I am 23. How many trophies do you have for cricket? A whole big number of 0. I remember when Stuart Broad was a young gun, now he's pretty good, matured like good wine, says Roof. Now, it's going to be New Zealand versus Great Britain. It's about to come to a close, which now means that New Zealand will go on to face the winner of Ireland versus Australia. That ball's gone out, and that will be the end of the match. 24 points to 12. The Kiwis victorious over GB. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We just don't like each other enough to play together. I think it's a money thing. There's Flesh in there as well. Yeah, because it always seems weird how they break off for certain competitions. Like when it was the Sevens World Cup, they broke off. When it was the Olympics, they were one. When it was the Commonwealth Games, I think they broke off, or were they GB? They might have still been GB for the Commonwealth Games. But yeah, they seem to switch between them quite a bit. And all right, Kiwis won, and greetings, Hamish. I think that the reason why they play as GB is for the Olympics. There's Mountains of Asylum. Yeah, I think there's something to do with the bigger comps. But I should mention we are quickly going to pop over to the next live stream. I see that Ireland versus Australia is just about to get underway. So I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all for the next one. Boy, that was a quick outro. See you all in a second.